Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week where we talk FPL tactics. Welcome to Added Time. It is game week 7. It's the week of the wild card for some of us.
For some of us, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you are in the world. It's morning where I am, it's afternoon where he is. It's evening when you're listening. So,
How have you been this past week? How was your FPL weekend, Mike?
it was bad,
Yeah.
and it was bad because, like, we talk about all these good things on the pod, but we don't jump on them ourselves.
Yeah.
We're at the phase where we have good ideas, but we don't have the best follow through on those ideas, and the people who follow through on those ideas are benefiting, and us on the other end seem to be suffering. I was in a Jackson camp because I brought in Alvarez for the curse. Well, I'm sure everybody knows about the curse. Nate can tell you about the curse. But I brought in Alvarez. I had money in the bank, so I brought in Alvarez as my third striker. And I said to myself, everyone's transferring out Jackson. This is a good opportunity to pull ahead of everybody if he hauls. And that way I didn't have to waste any more transfers. Well, it couldn't have gone worse because Chilwell doesn't start. Gusto gets red carded. Jackson gets yellow carded for the 5th time in 6 games.
What did I say?
You knew that was going to happen. The Rashford blanks, and he has good opportunities to assist. Buemo blanks again. It's just a bad time all around. And it's forcing me into an early wild card because I'm going to be able to catch up with everybody and planning to play my wild card in 2 to 3 game weeks. I was planning to play game week 10 or 9 for Salah, and my team is this bad with all the injuries and problems. If it's going to cost me about 12 points minimum to fix my team, I might as well wildcard early. So that's where I am.
Well, I'm still going to stick to my plan of wildcarding next week. So I have a little bit of a gamble week this week. I think I'm going to take a punt on some players. I have a little bit of a watch list. As we know, the watch list is true. Well, except for Bruno Fernandes. Although some could argue he did well last week.
He did. Okay, if I am... Let's start with that because they beat Burnley. They didn't look the best against Burnley, but Fernandes' goal was so good. Everybody, if you haven't seen Fernandes' goal, you should go and watch it. Because as much as I don't like Man United, not because of Man United, because of the fans and the supporters and my friends who support me, that's the antagonism. But when you see good play, like that Fernandes goal, the way he just controlled it out of the air and knocked it in.
Yeah.
Like you don't see good goals like that every week. And I was happy for you that you had Bruno.
Thank you.
Because you had the points for him and you kept him after all the
he finally. Yeah. I don't know if he paid off yet, but I mean he's got 20. If I count the 2 games, the one where he's got 12 and the one where he got 10, where I'd say it's worth it, he's got 22 points worth. Otherwise, it's just 1s and 2s.
Well, consider it this way. Is he better than Foden?
Well, Foden, what did he do for City last week? Nothing. No, he got a goal. Hey?
11 points.
Oh.
He got 11 points, but what I mean is Bruno's sitting on 29 points, Foden sitting on 34 points. It's a 5-point swing. I feel like that's comparable. So in other words, you don't have Foden, but I don't have Bruno. Those players sort of trade off for each other.
Yeah, I'd say.
Tell me something about Man United. They beat Crystal Palace 3-0. So they beat Crystal Palace midweek, and now they're going to play same Crystal Palace at home again, like less than a week later. Like, how does that work in your recent memory? Does that mean maybe Crystal Palace gets one over Man United because of revenge, or do you think United have their number? Easy peasy.
You'd think if you've got the same team a couple of days later that it's going to be okay. We'll just do the same thing, but will they just do the same thing? Will Crystal Palace adjust? I don't know. I see Crystal Palace at home for United, and I think I'm not getting rid of my United players yet. So, I mean,
they have Burnley after that too, don't they?
If you've been holding on to Manchester United players, you might as well just hold them on for another week or 2.
I'm wildcarding and I'm tired of Rashford, so I may get rid of him. However, I will say this about Ten Hag. Okay, I actually like him as a manager because he's a no nonsense manager, and I feel like Chelsea need that sometimes. He's like, no, Jordan Sancho is not part of my team. You have to play good and deserve it. He comes across as no bullshit, and I respect that. So I'm envious of Man United's managerial focus that they have.
I wondered to myself but also touching on your Chelsea subject, just to go a little bit off FPL, is I don't know if any manager can fix what's going on at Chelsea right now, because it's not tactics. It is to a point, but it's also, I mean, we've spent £1 billion and we don't have a striker. Like, we'd prioritize a 40 million defender over getting a striker. You know what I mean? So is it maybe the spending department? I don't know.
It's the ownership. Their model is not a success now model. Their model isn't even a success next year model.
It's
Their
a 5-year
model
plan.
failed. Yeah. It's like you. I remember history. It was like Stalin's 5-year plans.
Yeah. I actually do.
except we lost our Russian billionaire. So there's
the thing is also in football, or especially in English football, you don't have 4 or 5 years to build a team.
The plan doesn't work if your plan is, and I keep saying this, the plan doesn't work if your plan is to buy young players who are going to be good before they are good. If you're taking them out of the environments that would make them good. Salah doesn't become Salah if he doesn't go to Roma. De Bruyne doesn't become De Bruyne if he doesn't go to Germany. Okay? And then come back. They only become world beaters because they go to those places.
They've put all the potential world beaters in one team and expect them to play and work well together. But no one has developed. So it's it's a mess.
Go to the right environment or be around the right players to become the best. You can't put them all together, suffer. They're going to leave Chelsea and be the best because now they're developing.
In 4 years' time, when Bowley's magical dream team comes to fruition, half the players are going to have left.
They won't stay because they'll be suffering and their confidence will be down, and they'll look for better pastures, and then other teams Brighton will be winning the league.
Brighton will buy Caicedo back for 40 million. Anyway, we digress.
Speaking of Brighton, we're playing Brighton today, but Brighton is playing Villa on the weekend. Villa are strong. Matoma came up with his goal. You said you called Matoma. Is he still worth coming in?
Yes.
Bring in.
I think so.
If fixtures are rough though, it's Villa, Liverpool, City.
But this is where it comes in for the punt.
Clean.
Yeah. So like you bring him for your 1 week punt, and then you take him out. All right. If you're not playing the wild card next week.
So are you saying that people on a wild card, or not on a wild card this week, but I think next week should be doing some gambling this week? Is that the strategy?
I think you should be, because you're going to wildcard anyway next week. And I think the majority of players should, because the fixtures swing quite drastically. I will say this, though. I don't know if I back Matoma as hard as I did last week, because last week I liked the matchup. This week there's other players that I'd look out for. I'm going to give you 2 quick fire names. The one is the Mad Hatter Morris himself, who's got a double game week, who scored last week. I think he'd be worth to take a shout on. He's playing for Luton, for those who don't know. He's got his first game against Everton, who we all know is in shocking form.
Except that they won 3-1 against Brentford last week away.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Brentford. But anyway, and then Burnley on Tuesday. So if you're going to take a gamble, I have already made my transfer, because I do not want to miss out on a price rise like my man Mike did with Botman last week. I will stick to my gut.
Why must you bring up those? Why must you open wounds, throw salt in Tabasco sauce?
Wait, yes, the Tabasco sauce. Tabasco sauce is that I brought him in, and I got points for you.
Son of a listen, speaking about Luton, okay? Yes. They played midweek in the cup. They got knocked out by Exeter.
So now they have nothing to worry about. So they can play Premier League.
However, they did rest a whole lot of players. They rested Kabore. They rested Morris. They did not start with their eye on the Premier League this weekend.
You mean the eye on the cup?
Sorry. Yeah. No, eye on the Premier League. They rested them against Exeter for this weekend.
Oh, they started with their eye on the Premier League. I see what you're saying.
Which means that
Morris probably starts both games.
It's a good exactly. So I'm on your Morris. I'm on your Morris wavelength, except I'm wildcarding and I already wildcard. And I wish you told me last week not to wildcard, but do gambles this week so I can
Hey,
wildcard.
I told you I was going a wild card in game week 8 the whole time. So
Yeah, you did. But you didn't tell me the strategy. Everybody out there, this is a brilliant
I
strategy.
can't.
Take gamble first and then wildcard. Gamble, then wildcard. Because it's a safe gamble because you can fix it. I didn't think of this. I was so upset after my mess up and I knew I was going to miss out on all the price rises. So I
But
wildcarded
it's definitely a valid strategy.
to just attack those price rises
Yeah.
before they happened with my wild card. That was my thinking, but your strategy is way better. So next year.
So all mid season wild card. But I've definitely I've already made the move. I've taken out Archer for Morris this week. So my front three is Morris, Haaland, and Alvarez.
Will you go back to Archer in your wild card?
I might, yeah, just because
To balance your funds out?
Yeah, I will. This is the punt, the game week punt that I'm taking, and then I'll correct my team. But we'll release the wildcard draft. We can do it this week or next week, we'll decide. But I want to say that I'm making about 10 changes to my starting team in my wildcard draft.
Onana in or out because he got you points.
Onana in or out for this week specifically or for the next few weeks?
No, for the wild card.
I think I'm going to keep Onana. Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah. I think so, man. He
got the points this week.
Yeah, he's still got 3 good fixtures, then Man City, and then another 3 good ones. So, and he's also dropped in price, so I don't want to also sell him for a loss. Yeah, I'll keep him for a little bit because he'll jump up a little.
Quick shout on the big teams: Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. So Spurs and Arsenal drew. The bad news is that Saka went off injured. Rice is injured. Rice is not an FPL asset, but Rice being injured affects the players in front of him because how does that affect Arsenal's midfield? Everybody playing their wild card and everybody thinking about balancing their midfield has to contend with Maddison and Saka being yellowed.
Arteta's already said he doubts Saka will play against Bournemouth.
Why would you risk him? He's Starboy. You don't risk Starboy.
So I don't think Saka plays. I'm going to put him in my starting 11, but he's probably not going to rock up, and then I'll have a auto sub.
Well, you could gamble, take him out, but then it'll cost you too much to bring him back.
I'm a big advocate to not take negative points. I'd rather bank a transfer for 2 weeks. You know me.
Guy. That's not gambling.
Morris.
Yeah.
I gamble with knowledge. Yeah. I make accurate assumptions.
Your opinion on this? People are bringing in Son, okay, en masse. He's playing Liverpool. They are bringing in Son. He scored 2 goals, okay, but they're bringing his fixtures after Liverpool are amazing, okay. He has Luton, Fulham, Palace, Chelsea, which is obviously like free 10 points for him. Wolves. And Villa, that is a really awesome run.
A massive run.
I was almost swear there, but it's a really good run.
People that are bringing in Son this game week, too soon, Junior. Too soon.
He's the meme itself.
If you have a transfer or 2 and you're not wildcarding and you want to take a punt on Son, do it. If you're wildcarding, do it. If you're not, I'd rather do Morris. You've got Son coming up for game week 8 and on. I would put him.
But Maddison is injury concern, and the last time I took a gamble.
This is why I say too soon, because also who's been servicing Son for the last couple games?
It's just Maddison assisted both his goals against Arsenal. So.
What did I say about Haaland and De Bruyne?
But you know what?
Haaland should have double his goals. He's missed a lot of chances.
Yes, he's actually not on form.
He's choking.
The robot is working on 50% battery power or something.
Elon Musk can get him to put in the new motor or something. Right?
He's missing chances. He's still getting points. I watched that game.
Maybe he's hanging around Jackson too much. I don't know.
Just the Chelsea virus. He had chances to score a hat trick again, and he only got him away with 1 goal. So the more chances he gets, the more goals he will score, and he's definitely missing De Bruyne.
Yeah, 100%. Which is what I think Chelsea will happen to Son. But anyway,
stay away from Chelsea, right? There's no point touching them with they're playing Fulham, which is a derby, which is for Chelsea is a big thing, but at the same time, like Fulham, I think they beat Chelsea last season. They're going to beat them again
Yeah.
on Monday.
Well, look, so I obviously got rid of Jackson last week. I've got Ben Chilwell and Gusto still. Gusto was great for me regardless because he was a player I bought in at 4 mil and he's already at 4.3. So I've already made money on him. So when I wildcard next week, I should make at least 0.1.
Yeah, but what's the point of selling him? We need to.
But this is what I was
team.
also going to say to you. I might not even sell him just because it's Gusto and unfortunate red card, but I understand. And he's also 4 mil. So it's not like he's the perfect fit. And I might bring in the 3.9 Baldock, but if I don't really need that kind of money, I've kind of sorted. That being said, Ben Chilwell, see you, mate.
There are some other 4 million defenders that you could bring in. There's Kabore and Anderson from Luton to sit on your bench if that was your strategy.
Yeah.
And especially
but like I say,
this week.
If you've got Gusto, just hold him for your bench. It's 4 million.
Unless you're wildcarding it out, maybe.
Yeah, for money.
Maybe.
Depends.
Well, I was thinking about Gusto out for Kabore to bring in so I can still fit in
for this game week specifically.
Yeah, and then if after that he's sitting on the bench at 4 million anyways, but then you get 2 punts at a clean sheet this weekend.
Yeah, fair. I'd back that move. I just watch your funds because Gusto's obviously more expensive to bring back in now.
But yeah, I also estimating that he's going to be banned for 3 weeks, but that 3-week point comes back.
James will be back by then.
James, he might not be back, but he's soon to return, which means that
I think Gusto's done enough to get minutes again, even after James is back. I think he's a half an hour player. I think maybe even 40 minutes.
Who knows with Chelsea?
Bro,
we're going to be in a relegation fight, so let's not even talk about
if we lose against Fulham, guys, there may not be a podcast next week. Just letting you know. So please check on us.
There will be a podcast. It will be a different one. We'll do a Chelsea rant.
Yeah, okay. If Chelsea lose, there's no Fantasy Premier League. It's going to be a Chelsea rant session.
Just know that Nate and I, after the Chelsea game, we ran to each other. We just don't record it because we don't want to come across as
we always talk
sad,
and then we phone each other and we're like,
fans.
we talk and we're like, we should have done a podcast about this. Maybe one day we'll do a live post-match reaction.
Yeah.
When the time's aligned.
Jumping to Liverpool, every wild card you have to bring Salah in, right?
Oh, Salah is the bane of your existence in the Premier League at the moment.
I should have kept him.
Yeah. Maybe we learn, eh? We learn.
But I had to sell him to afford other assets, and now I'm going to bring him back in. His price hasn't changed. His fixtures are going to swing soon to being even better.
Yeah, you bring him in. It's just that simple. He's becoming a must-have. And like you say, the fixture swings. And you've been saying this for weeks. So I think it's a no-brainer. I agree with you as well. This is a very creative podcast today.
Yeah, we're on the same level, but our teams are going to be very different this week.
Will be.
I can guarantee you that. West Ham, I've got a good fixture swing in the future. So those thinking about wildcarding next week, they got Newcastle, not this weekend, game week 8, but after that, they have a run of green. Right?
Here's my thoughts on Newcastle. Ward-Prowse is the Madison for them.
You mean West Ham? Sorry. West Ham.
No, Ward-Prowse playing for West Ham is the Madison, I suppose. He's
saying
that
he could
guy.
Even score against Newcastle.
He's the chef. He's the assist king. He's the man that sets up the dinner plate. And then his finisher is Bowen. I mean, Bowen's been doing well for them as well. I think if you want to look at West Ham, you look at those two players.
Okay, and jump to the 8-0. Okay, so everybody.
Okay,
is
that
clear.
was wild, by the way. That doesn't happen.
Can I just explain to everybody what happened so they know my pain? Okay, Botman was at 4.5. I was thinking about transferring Botman out at 4.5 for at 0.5 basically in the bank. So I was gonna go Baldock out at 4 for Botman 4.5. Perfect swap. Everything is good. Life is good. With a free transfer, wouldn't have costed me anything. And I said to myself, why am I going to bring him in? Because I have so many players playing. He might end up in the bench. Let me keep that extra free transfer for next week. Because I wasn't planning on playing my wild card. Okay? This is the sadness. That's Wednesday. Thursday.
After the pod. Straight after the pod.
Yeah. Botman's price goes up. Baldock's price goes down. I just lost 0.2 million. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Now if I make the price change, I have to do another transfer costing me 4 points. And I felt like, so I missed it. It's fine. I'll wait until next week and make 2 transfers and balance it in. And then we busy talking about Chelsea's rubbish, and in the background was DJ Khaled meme all over. It's another one. Newcastle, man. They popped at the exact moment everyone thought they would pop, and they did it.
And what's wild is 8 different players scored those goals.
Oh, man. Well, we were arguing about Wilson and Isak. They both scored.
Who cares, bro?
So just for everybody out there, Nate, what is your suggestion on like which Newcastle assets are we supposed to go for? People doing their wild cards, people are bringing them in as their fixture swing and they get used to playing in Europe. They got Burnley, West Ham, Palace, Wolves before they hit Arsenal, and then then
there's another clean run, yeah.
And then they got Chelsea. That's a tasty one for them. So they've got the fixtures, but who do you bring in?
I think if you would like to double up on any defensive team, it would be Newcastle in Trippier and Botman. Well, now it's a bit tricky because Botman's gone up very quickly. He might even rise again later this week. Trippier as well. But if defensive wise, I'll be obviously looking at those two. I think if you only want one, I think you bag Trippier. He's currently 6.6 still, so if you're going to make the move, make it quickly, because I think he'll be 6.8 come time they play Crystal Palace. So,
can I just tell you, there's the Chilwell has been transferred out, okay, by a lot of people. This is the 5 top replacements for Chilwell right now. It's Trippier and Botman, as you said. People are going one out for one. There's Cash from Aston Villa. There's Walker, which I think is a brilliant pick if you don't have 3. Again, if you love football, even if you're a Man United supporter, just to see Walker bomb down the wing, receive the ball wide down the wing, and cross it in for that goal.
Yeah, no.
So
and how old is he again?
I don't even know, but he's fast, man. He's fast, he's strong, he doesn't give up. He's a quality player.
No,
he's one of
33 years old.
He's one of those players where I know people talk a lot of cock about oil and money and City, and they're not real football supporters. But you know what, Walker, he's a good leader, a strong player.
Yeah,
he's solid, right? He's solid, and he's good. Oh, and another one for those Man United listeners out there, you can give us some feedback, please, in the WhatsApp group or in a comment somewhere. Tell us about Regulion. How do you say his name?
Regulon.
That sounds like a Star Trek name, man.
I thought it was a Harry Potter name. Regular Black or something.
No. But at 4.4, he's starting. There's some injuries there. He looks very good. Better than Amrabat. Didn't look like he was a bit. He's gonna get some yellow cards, that guy. But those are the 5. Sorry, Trippier, Cash, Botman, Regulon, and Walker. Those 5 are the best replacements for Chilwell. And I'll tell you now, out of those 5, I probably would take 3 of them in a wildcard team. And I wouldn't be surprised if you did either.
No.
Because you just spoke about Botman, Trippier. That's already 2.
Yeah. So, yeah. That list's pretty solid. I back that list. If we look on to the rest of the Newcastle team, I think you go Wilson over Isak still, because I still think Wilson is favoured in the Premier League. He's more Premier League experienced, so it helps to have him there, and Isak to stuff around in Europe. I called it again last week. I said Wilson's going to start because Isak played. It's the way it is, so we have to see and monitor that. But I think Eddie Howe realized quickly what Wilson can do, and he put him on and started him.
I agree with you, but I don't know what it is about Isak. Like, there's this clip online where Isak is from a country.
Sweden.
Is he from?
Sweden.
Yeah, have you seen
and everyone thinks he's Ibrahimovic. That's why.
No, you must go listen to this clip. Everybody online heard him talk English. He sounds like he grew up in Britain. He's only been here for like a year or 2. But everybody go find the clip. Isak speaks English. I promise you, you will laugh your head off, because he sounds like a proper grew up on the streets in Britain kind of guy. It's hilarious.
As far
I'll
as
share it with you.
midfielders for Newcastle go, I can't really say because whenever I've watched Newcastle, they've always got their goals coming out from the wide. So either a
Uh,
winger,
I've seen
nothing
some punts
central.
for Gordon as your, and I had him at the beginning of the season. He's 5.6, so his price it went up. He has got 32 points, so he's a cheap midfielder who's consistently getting minutes. And
Yeah,
if you
it would be
wanted,
Gordon Winter too.
Gordon is your best. Like, I need a player to fill up my midfield because I'm playing three in the front.
Mm.
He's 5.3. And even if you wanted to play him as one of your midfielders, he's 5.3 and he's got 32 points. That is a hangover points. He's basically only blanked twice in 6 game weeks.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's good form. Yeah, definitely look at that. So
Cordain, the curtain.
on that, what is your prime target other than Salah for your wildcard draft? Who rounds
Bro.
off your attack? Who rounds off your front three or front two? You're
So
obviously
I
keeping
had
Haaland.
I wanted to say this, right? I had a wild card. I did a wild card. I brought in some players. I beat some price rises and stuff like that and price drops. However, this is a headache. I can't wild card and have Madison and Saka injured and not start. Like, I don't know what your advice is here. We hold both Madison and Saka and they both don't start. What is going on? Am I going to play all five of my defenders for my
Yes.
wild card team?
Well, because my team will line up as a 4-3-3 for the first time in history. If Saka and Madison don't start, it's going to be Rashford, Fernandes, and Mbuemo with Chilwell hugging the fourth at the back line there. This is why I said, bro, you gamble this week and wildcard next week. You fix those injuries while you can next week. You kind of just going to have to play with three in the middle or start them and hope they play. It's going to be a
I
low scoring game week, I think.
it's obviously it's a obviously greater chance that Saka is rested than Madison. Madison could still play, but I wouldn't be surprised if both of them are rested, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't make
Um,
drastic changes yet with them. Like, hold it as late as possible. I don't think their price is going to go up or down. So you have some
what
time.
is Saka is a buy at 8.7 and a sell for me at 8.6. So if I take him out for 1 week, I'm going to be losing a 1 point.
Did you? Yeah, you got him in at 8.5. Yeah. And
So
Manners, when did you get him in?
flip. Madison is a buy at 7.9 and a sell for 7.7. So Madison out for one
Did I
week is
have
a
Madison
point 0.2
before
loss.
you?
No, I had Madison 1 week
I
before you.
bought him more expensive. I just had more money because I sell him at 7.8.
Yeah. Why? That's weird.
No, I think I had more money than you because of a player that I took out for him, and then I could buy him at 7.8 still. So it's still 7.8 for me.
Yeah, that's weird. But either
Interesting.
way, yeah, he's still gonna be. We're talking crypto stock markets here. Buy the way you buy and sell and losing money.
Because currently I have nothing in the bank because I had 1 million exactly to do this change from Archer to Morris, which is why I did it now because I didn't want to be caught off guard. So my total squad value is 100.9.
I was thinking about putting in Bailey in my wildcard draft because the fixtures of Villa are really good. He's also been scoring points. He's got a green run. Uh, but now that we talked about Gordon, I don't have the money for Gordon. I'm 0.1 short for Gordon. But if I had the money, maybe Gordon.
Maybe Gordon. Maybe
Like
it's Maybelline.
I think in order to fit in the premium Haaland, premium Trippier, premium Salah, it almost feels like I have no choice now but to go to a cheaper fifth midfielder.
You wouldn't go Diaby.
Diaby, Diaby is good, but what's his price?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I just know I have a list going.
Because it's all about the price, right? And whether he fits.
The price is right.
Yeah, he's got the points. You are right. And he's 6.6. He has been scoring points. He is playing. He is a fire player for West Ham. Sorry, for Aston Villa. So this claret blue thing is confusing me. Honestly, Aston Villa, when I look at them, I think of West Ham, but their badge looks like Chelsea.
It's scary.
It's such a mind F when I look at Villa playing. It's annoying.
Touch on goalkeepers quickly, because we might have passed over that. Because the wildcard draft does include the man at the back. 2 names that I'm going to throw out, and you mentioned one, I think in game week 2, is Mr. Flecken. I think is still a good shout. And Areola. Areola is playing insane goalkeeping at the moment.
And West Ham fixtures after Newcastle and game week 8 getting lekker. Cheese and crackers.
Yeah, so... and then I still think keep Onana because of how favourable Man United's fixtures are. But if you're looking for goalkeepers, Flecken, Areola, watch this for sure.
What I was thinking of is because Areola's sitting so nice and I've got him at 4 million, I was thinking about just saving money in the goalkeeper department to afford all of these premiums and go to Turner as a backup goalkeeper because he's playing every match. His points are not good, but you have a 4 million starting goalkeeper every week. That's most likely going to just sit on your bench anyways. The only downside of playing someone like Turner is that it forces you to only use your bench boost maybe after Christmas break.
Yeah.
Because you need to wildcard into a better balanced squad in preparation of your bench boost, or sometimes you can't just ignore your second goalkeeper.
Well, here's the thing. So if you've got Turner and you bring in Areola for 4.2 because he's gone up, bro, you've got money. You've got so much money, and Areola's fixtures are so good, and his form is so good. So I mean, from game week 9 all the way through to 18, he's got greens, bro. Got nothing but dollar, easy money.
But you know what I've realized about this game? This season, the greens aren't helping me. It's form. Form is greater than
Chelsea actually showed us FDR means absolutely nothing.
Form over fixture. Okay, form over fixture is what the season has showed me. Look at form. Salah's form suggests he will continue scoring. Okay, yes, you bring in players and they cast because you bring in Son and then he doesn't score, but then the week after he will score because the curse is real, but form doesn't lie. Like you can miss one game week, but if you're scoring a hat trick, blanking, and then scoring 2 goals,
that's form, bro.
It doesn't matter if he blanked 1 week. Some people bring in the player and go, "Oh, I wasted my time," and then bring him straight out, and then he scores 2 goals. Don't judge a player on 1 week. Judge him over 3 weeks.
That's the thing. Your points that you took -4 to bring in Son and he blanked, but then he got 10 and 12 versus your Mbuemo that you had that got you 2-2-2.
Can you not? Must you not put more Tabasco sauce?
Sorry, man.
Salah? Okay, captain
choices.
Haaland is not the best captain choice every week, but he's the safest. Agree? Disagree?
Yes. I would say if you are looking for a differential this week, one has an argumentative case for Morris because of his fixtures, and obviously double game week.
There are people who have post-traumatic stress syndrome of captaining double game week players over the last 2 seasons,
and the single game week player gets more points. Yeah,
they blank. So I would not be triple or captaining as Morris. I would not.
The W in Wolves stands for whipping, so we'll captain Haaland and move on.
Okay, sorry, so Haaland, we stay on Haaland, right? We just stay.
Look, Morris is my vice for whatever reason, because we all know Haaland will start, but it's going to be a Haaland captain from my side.
And you sticking with Bruno, right?
Who knows about Bruno?
No, we don't talk about Bruno.
No, who knows about Bruno? We don't talk about Bruno either.
No, we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting rid of it. I told you my transfer, and I'm not going to take more points. So I've done the Morris Archer to Morris move, and that is my team.
I'm just deciding whether I should go back to keep Rashford or not. I'm not going Bruno. But Rashford is irritating United supporters.
To help
This is-
you with your decision over Rashford or Bruno, I think you go Bruno. I have said Rashford
Yeah.
before, but I think Rashford's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder and he needs to grow up a little bit.
Okay, well, we better wrap up. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. I hope you guys learned something from Nate the Great. Not from me. I don't know what I'm doing here. From Botman messing me up. But have a good week, everybody. FPL, I'll be on the tweets, the X's.
And
I don't
pray
know
for
how to
us
say.
because we want to have another podcast next week. Hopefully Chelsea win and do well. But anyway,
And, then,
cool.
and maybe we'll do a Nate Great wildcard, mate.
We'll see. All right. Cheers, everyone.